Welcome to Lovely T's Kitchen. Today we're doing our Thanksgiving meal. Mama DJ is putting the cornbread together for the dressing. Everything will be in there for the far as the instructions. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. So we are getting ready to clean our turkey. So we're going to unravel this and wash it and clean it really nicely. I set the oven on 350. I normally use 2 turkeys and they're a lot bigger than this one, but that's okay. Things are totally different this year. So we are on our journey for our Thanksgiving dinner at this point. So let's get started. So we are cleaning out our turkey now. So you got all the stuff you need to get on out. It always has some little gifts for you. Get on in there. Should have one more surprise in there for you. So if you can't go in there, you'll go from the front. You should have your little bag in there. There you go. There we go. Look at that. There you go. Now, you can take your little bag and use that for some gravy, but I don't, so it's your choice. You can definitely use that and make your gravy out of it. So we're gonna rinse this off, clean it inside and out, and then we're going to put it in the pan and let's season it. All right, you got 1 stick of butter. You didn't melt it all the way. You have salt and pepper. You have your turkey here. You're going to put this butter all over it. And just kind of go real slow because you're just going to start rubbing it in. And you're going to put some butter inside of the turkey as well. You're going to sprinkle your salt and pepper on top and then move it around so it can get all over the turkey. Sometimes, you know, I love to do like a get an injector and put like lemon flavor or something like that, or some herbs. So sometimes I do kind of come out of that traditional and do something a little different. So you can definitely do different things with your turkey. Make sure you put the butter inside, put some salt and pepper inside, rub it on the back and the front and the legs. Just kind of like you're lotioning your body. So just moisturize the turkey really nicely. So when you pour your butter and your salt and pepper on it, the butter is going to kind of crystallize. So that's okay. It's going to add a lot of flavor to it once it starts to cook. You do want to add a little bit of water in here. Of course, it's going to add its own juice, which is going to be a lot of juice. So don't worry about that. You do want to put it at the bottom of your oven so that way you can have the top part to do whatever you want, like for your dressing, your macaroni and cheese, or whatever else. So now we have our mustard greens, and you want to make sure you take the stem off of it. You want to make sure you peel it, and you want to make sure after you do all that, you're not going to cut them because you will bruise them, so you want to tear them. But you're going to wash them. So before you tear them, you want to definitely take the stems off and clean them off really nicely because they have sand or dirt on them. You want to wash them in cold water. You may want to wash them multiple times. And then once you put them in your pot, you want to tear them, not cut them. So I have my greens already tore up and taking the peel off of it and taking the stem off away from it and washing it in cold water multiple times. I added 2 cups of water. As you go through the process of cooking this, you will add more water. I'm going to put it on a medium heat. I'm not going to season it right now. I'm going to let it cook for probably about a good hour before I put any seasoning in it. Alright, we got our yams right here. We're going to peel this, and half of our yams is going to be cooked as yams and half of our yams is going to be cooked as my sweet potato pie. Now, you may not see me do all the sweet potato pie because I promised Mama DJ that I wouldn't give you the recipe. But you will see how I do the candy yams. Now, how about that? Alright, we have peeled our candy yams, and now we're going to put cold water and put it on a medium heat and let it boil. And then we have our mustard greens. We're going to add a little bit more water in them, and then we're going to put our seasonings. So you're going to put your salt and pepper to taste. I would suggest to put 1 tablespoon of salt and 1 tablespoon of pepper. And the reason why is because you're putting a lot of water in there and it's going to evaporate. And also we're going to put a piece of ham inside of this greens to add flavor to it. So you're going to take probably about 1 ounce of ham. You can do like a spiral ham or any type of picnic ham, any type of ham that you want to do it with, but you can also use bacon. I've used bacon as well, and it's really good too. So from time to time you want to take your turkey out the oven and you want to put the juice from the turkey on top of it so it'll stay moist. You don't want no dry turkey, so you definitely want to moisturize it from time to time, and then you'll put it back in the oven. So we put a 32-ounce box of chicken broth, unsalted, inside of the dressing. So we have our 4 eggs, raw eggs. We have some juice from the turkey. You want to do at least about 2 cups or 3 from that. You can use as much juice as possible. Don't drown it too much because then it's hard to dry. But at least about 3 cups of the juice from the turkey. I have the 4 eggs, the chicken broth. I have sage, and I have your poultry seasoning. I'm gonna put salt and pepper to taste. I also have cream of chicken. I have 4 cans of the cream of chicken. If you can get the big cans, just get 2 big cans. All right, we got our dressing. We're getting ready to put it in our pan. We're going to add 1 cup of butter. I definitely do it a little differently than I'm doing it right now, but that's okay. Things are a little different this year. Okay, now we're going to peel our potatoes for our mashed potatoes. All right, we're doing our greens and we're gonna look at them. They're looking really nice here. And then we're gonna check in on our turkey. So beautiful. So we have our sweet potato pie ready, which is really looking nice. We're getting ready to do our candy yams. We put 2 sticks of butter in our saucepan. You're gonna melt that, and then you're gonna put 2 cups of sugar inside the saucepan, and then if you want to use nutmeg, you definitely can. I do not, but a lot of people like using the nutmeg. We have our candy yams in our butter and sugar, and you're gonna let that liquid just run out the skillet. So once it disappears, then it should be soft enough and ready for you to take out. You just want to kind of soak in all the juice into the potatoes and let it kind of saute into it. Okay, so we have so many different things going. So now we're just going to make a yellow cake at the box. We got our water boiling for our macaroni and cheese. We have our potatoes going. And then we got our greens, our mustard greens. We're gonna check on our dressing. There we go. So let's get started. So we're just going to read the back of that and then just go ahead and do a yellow cake with some chocolate icing. So in our pan we put just a tab of oil and smeared it around, and this is for our cake. And then I put a little bit of flour at the bottom, kind of dust it in there and move it around. You don't want no big chunks because you don't want that to be in your cake, but that's to keep it from sticking to the pan, and that's to keep it just to come straight up versus, you know, same thing, sticking to your pan. So you have your cake batter in your pan. You put the oven on 350 and you're going to let it cook. So we'll check on it in about 20 minutes. You are going to have a toothpick or a fork, stick it in the middle to see if it's still wet. If it's not wet, then it's done. Alright, look at this dressing. It's nice and pretty. You got it. Can't wait to eat it. So we have our ham, and we have our pineapples and brown sugar, and then we're going to bake it in the oven for 30 minutes on 350. Make sure you put some foil over your ham. Now we have our Velveeta and our sharp cheddar and our evaporated milk, and we have 1 stick of butter. So the Velveeta is a 16 ounce, and we're going to use 3 cups of the sharp cheddar for our macaroni and cheese. So this is our macaroni and cheese. You're going to cube up your Velveeta. You're going to take your butter and your milk and your sharp cheddar and mix it up. So you're going to put 2 cups inside and mix it up really nicely. Then you're going to sprinkle the rest of the sharp cheddar on the top. Put it in the oven for probably about 20 minutes. So we are doing our mashed potatoes. I put 4 tablespoons of butter. I put 1/4 cup of sour cream, and then I put 1½ teaspoon of salt and pepper. And then you're going to mix it really nicely. And put 1 cup of milk. Alright, we got our yams, our greens, our mashed potatoes, our mac and cheese, our corn. We have our turkey, we have our dressing, and we have our ham. We have this cake that's going to be a chocolate cake once it cools down. We have our apple pie, and we have a sweet potato pie, but that's in the refrigerator. Okay, here go our Thanksgiving meal. Happy Thanksgiving to you all.
Thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed it just as much as I did. Please have a wonderful Thanksgiving and see you next time.